Wow. Brooklyn Banks was something else, and there's any stories that stuck out when you were skating?
Man, Banks, so many. I mean, I spent probably half my life there. I mean, Banks contests were crazy. Those were always really crazy, like the fights that would go down, like brawls.
The kids from the projects.
Kids from the projects trying to rob you at the Banks, and everyone scattering. The kids from the projects would come over and actually like try to rob you. And there was times where you really had to watch your back or get the fuck out of there really quick. You'd be like, yo, it's time to go, and jam. And then you'd slowly like come back and they'd be gone. And even though the cop station's right there, it was actually a rough place to skate back in the day.
And what's the gnarliest trick you seen at Brooklyn Banks?
Little Banks, big Banks.
Little Banks.
Little Banks. Well, Frankie used to ollie up that top wall into the Banks, which was cool. Frankie Nutty Yellow.
Yeah.
That was tight. I mean, Vallely ollieing it with the fence on and knocking the thing off is probably one of the gnarliest things.
What about the big Banks? Gnarliest trick.
You know, Lamont used to do some crazy shit from that ledge into it, which was super sick. A lot of the Gons, like wall ride shit, was cool too. I feel like someone did something gnarly over the rail down below, but I can't really remember. I don't know, Big Banks, there's got to be so much. There's got to be so many like things because it's pretty gnarly.
Is there any brands in general that you're into right now?
You know, in the beginning, it was definitely, you know, I was heavily influenced by Stussy. I was heavily influenced by Supreme. You know, there's a lot of like streetwear stuff, and then there's, you know, a lot of like high-end stuff, but I do follow more of the kind of streetwear. Like Supreme and Stussy has always been like, oh, I really like how they do it. I really like what they do. I think I just look at lots of brands. I'm not like consumed by one brand, but I look at, you know, every brand from like your, you know, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all those crazy people that are doing super high-end weirdo stuff that are actually biting off of skateboarding. And then, you know, your stuff like, I really like that what Brandon's doing with Noah. I like Palace, I think it's really cool. I feel like there's like little cool brands all around the world that like, and then there's all these really, really small brands that are doing cool stuff.
Well, after you got all your stores in SF, LA, you shut down, what really triggered you to come to New York and open it?
I mean, for me, the story was, you know, we had all the SF stores and we had LA stores and we shut it all down. And then we started bringing it back and we opened up LA. And then for me, being from New York, knowing New York is such a fashion capital, it's a staple for skateboarding. It's all these things that nowhere else in the world has. Having a store in New York was needed, I felt, and it was my passion to get it there. And it, you know, it took us over a year to even like, or almost 2 years to probably even get the store open, you know, from having the approval to do it, to finding the right space, to actually building it out and getting it open with all the rules of New York City and historical permits and every single thing. We got it open, and for me, it's a huge accomplishment to be here. This block, in general, I feel like there's something about, it's kind of like my home here. You know, I grew up very close to here, and then, you know, I basically watched Supreme become a brand here, and it's a huge foot traffic area. So we strategically chose the area, and we really like the Crosby side of the street, that it's really kind of like old school New York style. And it's a small store, but it's like, I don't know, there's something special about this area. You know, New York will have, all the stores will have resemblances. You know, they're basically going to carry some similar product, but we will have exclusive product that's just for New York. You know, New York has a much colder climate than LA does, so we'll start building, you know, heavier jackets and some different things that's special for New York. But also, you know, I feel like we're maturing in our designs and how our stores look, and you know, we built a Hiroshi apple for New York, the Big Apple, and for me, it's like embracing Hiroshi to build an amazing piece. That's something special.
Yeah, very influential.
And I feel like the New York store is going to be like one of our best stores, and I really think it's fucking rad. So I don't know.